Well, hello everyone. Thanks for listening today about my presentation about student fees and specifically student fees at UMD. So a little bit about myself. My name is Noah White. I'm a junior at UMD, and I'm studying both political science and marketing, and I plan on graduating in December of 2015. So with my research, I focused on student fees. And what a student fee actually is any fee that is paid to the university on a tuition bill that is not included in the price of tuition. So these are the extra fees that are tacked on to the end of this tuition bill that raise tuition by a few $100s or even up to $1,000 each semester for students. So at UMD, I focused on the student services fee. This is the fee that is paid by all students each semester you go to UMD. This is $320.06 per semester over the last year. While it might sound very small, over the course of 4 years, if it was not raised at all, that would be a total of $2,500, which is a lot, which now you can see adds up. And this fee is used for anything from supporting a minority group on campus to KUMD. So my research on student fees, I wanted to figure out a few things. I first wanted to figure out what student fees at UMD actually go towards. On the tuition bill, all it says was our student services fee. I wanted to figure out, well, what does that go towards? What is that? I also wanted to find out how UMD's student fees compare to other colleges and universities. I want to know if students at UMD were paying more or less with their fees that were getting added onto their bill. I also wanted to find out who gets to decide the cost of these student fees. So who decides that, for example, the Tweed Museum of Art gets some of our student fee. And I also wanted to figure out what the clubs and organizations do with the money from these fees. So the Asian American Student Organization gets money from student fees each semester. What do they do with the money then to make the university better? So when I started my research, I started looking at the history of student fees. I started out as a way for universities to fund programs that could not fund themselves. So programs, it could be anything from a library to an art museum to athletics, anything that could not self-fund themselves, they needed to add fees to fund them. Like I said before, it could be anything from a landscaping project on campus to funding an athletic program. It's really just a hidden way to charge more for tuition. Now with tuition freezes being such a big deal and states promising to keep tuition low, colleges and universities can just add on these fees to a few $100 to $1,000 a semester to make up for this lost money that they can't charge students in the tuition. One reason why universities can get away from charging this is because students don't realize that they're paying. They don't look at their tuition bill closely. They don't even know the actual price of tuition. So when they get their bill, they just pay it and move on. They don't actually look to see what they're paying for. And what's sad about this is some fees just go right into the general funds account that all tuition goes into. So while it says it might be going to a special club or organization, it doesn't. It just goes back into the normal fund the university has for paying bills. So one of the first things I said before, I looked at how UMD compared to other colleges and universities. And I found UMD has a relatively low student fee compared to other colleges. The $320.06 though may be changing soon. There's been an article that said that UMD plans to raise student fees to be more like other colleges and universities. So how much they could raise it could really vary. As you can see, the Twin Cities charges around $420 a semester. If you go to UW-Madison, you pay even more. You pay around $570 in a semester. And if you go to Morehead State University, which is pretty comparable to UMD, you pay around $465 a semester. So students at UMD could see a spike of $100 pretty easily on their student fees for the upcoming years. So when I wanted to figure out what these fees at UMD go for, it's actually pretty easy. There's a breakdown found online in the One-Stop Student Services page. So I know this is this is what you find. I know it's pretty small right here, but you can go online to the One-Stop Student Services page at UMD, and you can find this. Bring it up. So from looking at this, I saw, for example, like the KSC Capital Improvements Fund or like the Kirby Student Center, and you pay quite a bit for those on your student fees each month, but I want to know, okay, well, what's that money going towards now? That's a pretty broad subject. For example, like KUMD, the radio program on campus, I wanted to know, well, so they have their budget from all these student fees. What are they doing with the money? And then there is something like the Campus Crusade for Christ. I was curious with how they got money from student fees. How do you apply for this? Who decides they'd get some? And I thought it was also interesting to look at that students pay over $50 a semester to fund intercollegiate athletics here at UMD. So while going out and trying to figure out what these fees went for, I went to the Darling Administration Building, One-Stop Student Services in the Ledge, and then I also stopped at the Kirby Information Desk. And all three did not know what I should do, did not know where to point me, and did not know where I could find out what these fees are and where they go towards. So if you're concerned if you are concerned as I am, I advise you to take some actions as well. One thing you can do is simply review your tuition bill and know what you're paying for. Know what these fees are, know what they're going towards, so you can take full advantage of what you are paying for. I'd also advise you to raise awareness about these fees you pay. Maybe you tell a few friends about it, ask your friends if they realize they're paying this. Maybe if you, when paying your tuition bill, you put something on social media about it, and do something like that. And also talk to your advisors, student association, or even the chancellor about these fees and ask them what they are and what you think about them. One of the best places to go, I'd say, is student association, as they are supposed to listen to you and work and lobby to the people higher up about things in the university and things that they think students would want change. So anyways, I hope you learned something today. Thank you for your time and have a great day.